So good afternoon again everybody. This is my second video on the concept of does time has physical existence. So in my previous video I discussed that time is the entity which can change frequency of strings. And another dimension is time is the Kal Tattva, and this Kal Tattva or the Mahakal, this can be related to Lord Shiva, according to the Shiva Puran. So ultimately thing is that according to Shiva Puran, Lord Shiva is omnipresent in space and time. Omnipresent. He was, He is, and He will be. And this creation and destruction of universe, creation and destruction is a continuous process. We don't know the time where it began, we don't know when it will end, but certainly we know it's a cyclic process. Everything in the universe is moving in a cycle, in a periodic motion. Maybe the electrons in an atom, or maybe the galaxies, maybe the planets, everything is in motion. It's repeating the trajectory again and again. So that gives us an insight to the fact that maybe we are trapped in an infinite matrix which will never end. So to know things beyond this trap, beyond this matrix, we need to get access to the higher dimensions of consciousness, from where we can observe the entire universe and we can think beyond space and time. Because before we can think beyond space and time, our mind-brain system will be trapped in thoughts, in information, in process, in feelings, in belief systems. So we can debate, we can get confused, we can argument, we can question, but we cannot find the answer, we cannot feel the answer. So to know things beyond this system, we need to get access to the higher dimensions of consciousness. Only then we can feel things. So I hope you must have felt a change in your vibrational frequency, and you are right now maybe stimulating to higher dimensions of consciousness. So just keep listening, just don't break the focus. Let's continue the next context. So time may be related to Lord Shiva himself. You can visualize that Lord Shiva is present, omnipresent, he is everywhere as per the Shiva Purana. Lord Shiva here is a name. It refers to an entity which controls the entire universe. So don't go by the belief system. You think in a very scientific way. Lord Shiva here is not a person, he is an entity, a metaphysical entity which is controlling everything. You just observe the nature, how systematic is that? The distance of Earth from the Sun is very significant, because if this distance was somehow greater, then temperature would be too low on Earth, and if it would be closer, then temperature would be too high to sustain life. So there is some intelligent brain who is operating the entire universe, which has trapped everybody in a sort of cycle. But there is a process to decode this, and to come out of that. But for that, you need to bear the brunt of psychological and emotional challenges. You need to rise above the physicality, above your physical dimension. And at the physical dimension, we just live to reproduce. There is no other purpose of life than to reproduce. That is the central concept behind living at a physical level. So it's just like an animal is living. But if you want to think beyond the physicality, then you have to access higher dimensions of consciousness. So right now, you must have realized that time is not just what clock reads. It is in fact the driving force or the controller or the, you can say, that entity which is controlling everything, which is everywhere, and it's being called as the Purush in Puranas. And as per the communication of Nachiketa and Yamraj, when they were debating on the concept of death. So as per the mythological things, Yamraj said him that it is the Purush which is present everywhere. So I feel that Purush is the time itself. You must have heard of then when your time is good, then everything works according to you. You just touch a stone, it will turn to gold. But when time is not in your favor, gold even will convert to stone. That's a metaphoric term. It just signifies that for any particular person, it's not the quality of that person, it's the fact that time is supporting that person. That's why he is able to achieve high in different dimensions of life, maybe academic dimension, maybe financial dimension, maybe social, self-esteem, maybe the recognition, maybe name, fame and money. But the time factor has a role here, because when time is supporting you, only then your efforts are going to yield optimal results. And when time is opposing you, then however hard you try, whatever you do, however hard you work, that doesn't matter. Things are not going to happen. There is something which is in between your efforts and the result. That is the time itself. And because I know this by my experiments with life, and whatever I have felt, whatever I have realized in my life, that when time supports you, then things are different, and when time opposes you, things are different. But it stimulates us to decode the fact that time has a role in the result itself. Maybe you can say that luck factor is there. So luck, you can say that luck or the time. Time has a role, it has a physical existence. It's not just a mathematical construct, it affects you. Even the thoughts that you are having, you must have realized that inside you there are three sort of entities, or it is called the Trigunas. Entire universe, everything, let's talk about the human beings. So every human being is having three gunas. Three gunas are Satogun, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Sato means neutral, Rajo means positive, and Tamo means negative. So these can be related to neutron, proton and the electron as an atom is concerned. So you can relate to it that it's not just philosophical. Every human being is composed of atoms, and atoms are composed of electrons, protons and neutrons. And ultimately the property of a human is decided by the combination of these. So these gunas are nothing but they hint us to the fact that any person is fundamentally composed of positive, negative and neutral things, as electron, proton and neutrons are over there. But one of the thing dominates, and the thing which dominates is your character. I'll talk to you in the next video.